Okay, picture this. You're sitting on your couch, the game is on the line, and then crack. The ball just soars over the boundary for a six. You see it from every single angle, you hear the crowd erupt. It all feels so instant, so seamless. But behind that one moment, well, that's a massive, incredibly complex technological symphony. So let's break down what it really takes to get that perfect shot from the pitch to your screen.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? How does that raw energy, the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, get captured, packaged, and delivered to you in milliseconds? We're about to pull back the curtain on the incredible operation that makes it all happen.
All right, so our journey begins right where the action is, at the stadium. Long before the first ball is even bowled, there's this huge logistical machine already humming, setting up what's basically a fortress of technology designed to capture every single detail. And when I say every detail, I mean it. To start, for a big match, we're talking about more than 44 cameras dotted all around the stadium. They're covering literally everything, from that huge sweeping view of the field down to the most intense zoomed-in look on a player's face. Trust me, no moment is left unseen. And listen, sound is just as crucial as what you see. There are over 60 microphones strategically placed everywhere. And they're not just for the commentators, no. They're there to pick up the crisp sound of the ball hitting the bat, the umpire's decision, even the chatter between players. It's all designed to make you feel like you're right there in the stands.
And we're not just talking about your standard cameras either. The broadcast relies on some seriously specialized gear. You've got the Spidey cam that flies over the pitch, giving you those amazing bird's eye views. Then there's the buggy cam, that little thing that just races along the boundary line, keeping up with the action. And of course, who doesn't love the stump cams, giving you a perspective like you're the wicket itself?
Now, here's something that's really cool. These high-tech cameras aren't just automated drones, not at all. Each one, like the Spidey cam and buggy cam, needs a dedicated two-person team. You have a pilot who's literally flying or driving the rig, and a camera operator who's focusing on getting that perfect shot. It's this beautiful dance between high-tech machinery and incredible human skill. So, with all this video and audio being captured, where does it all go? It doesn't just beam straight to your TV. First, it all travels to a nerve center located right there inside the stadium. Think of it like mission control for the live broadcast. This place is called the Production Control Room, or PCR. Now, if the cameras and mics are the eyes and ears of the broadcast, the PCR is the first brain. It's where every single one of those 44-plus video feeds and 60-plus audio channels all come together to be sorted, managed, and prepped for the next leg of the journey. You know those instant replays that show up just moments after a wicket falls? Well, here's how fast it happens. The second a big play occurs, a team of at least 6 replay operators just jumps into action. They're sifting through all 44 camera feeds at once, finding the absolute best angles and queuing them up. The result? The whole process, from the live event to that slow-mo replay on your screen, happens in just 5 seconds. Can you imagine that pressure? But it's not just about the fast-paced action. There's a real art to the work they do in the PCR. One of the biggest challenges is live color correction. I mean, think about it. As the sun goes down and the stadium lights come on, the lighting completely changes. Technicians are constantly adjusting the image from every single camera in real time, just to make sure the grass always looks the same shade of green. It's all about creating one seamless, totally professional broadcast. Okay, so from that on-site PCR, the raw feed is then sent, often thousands of kilometers away, to the main broadcast hub in Mumbai. And this is where the magic really happens. This is where all that raw footage and audio gets transformed from just a collection of camera angles into the gripping sports story that we're all glued to. Now, there are 2 key people running this show, the producer and the director. It's a really important distinction. Think of it this way. The producer is the storyteller. They're deciding what the narrative is, which player stats to highlight, what storylines to follow. The director, on the other hand, is the visual artist. They're deciding what you see at any given moment, which camera to cut to, when to show a replay, and when to pop up a graphic. And this Mumbai hub, wow, it is a hive of activity, full of specialized rooms, each one adding another layer to the broadcast. You've got soundproof booths for commentary in a bunch of different languages, a super advanced AR/VR studio for visual analysis, rooms for graphics like Hawkeye, and of course, a master control room that's watching over the entire orchestra. And inside that AR/VR studio, that's where you see some really futuristic stuff.
Commentators can use a tablet to literally bring augmented reality graphics to life right on your screen. They can draw out a ball's trajectory or pull up a player's stats right over a virtual pitch. It's an amazing way to break down the game and make it super easy to understand. So the visual story is being built here, but so is the audio experience. Remember all those mics back at the stadium? Well, all of those feeds, plus the commentary tracks and everything else, gets sent to Mumbai. It adds up to a staggering 64 channels of live audio that need to be mixed. So what do they do with all those audio feeds? They mix them into what's called a 5.1.4 Dolby Atmos format. Now, that might just sound like a bunch of technical jargon, but what it means for you watching at home, well, it is a total game changer. See, this immersive audio, it's not a gimmick. It is designed to aurally place you right in the middle of the stadium. You don't just hear the crowd in front of you, you hear it from the sides, from behind you, even from above you. It's all about making you feel like you are actually there, deepening that emotional connection to the game. Okay, check this out. This is the part that just blows my mind. Let's say a match is happening in Sri Lanka. The raw audio is sent all the way to Mumbai. It's mixed in real time, and then it's sent back out to the world. The total delay for that entire trip? Just 2 frames. A broadcast runs at 50 frames per second, so that's less than 1/20th of a second. The delay is so tiny, it is completely impossible for a human to notice. Incredible. All of this technology is absolutely amazing, right? But it's all held up by an unseen army of people and an incredibly meticulous plan that's designed for one single purpose, to make sure the broadcast never, ever fails. So what happens if a fiber line gets cut? Well, there's a plan for that. The broadcast is sent on a primary fiber line, but there's also a second backup line that takes a completely different physical route. So if one goes through Delhi, the other might go through a totally different city. And if, by some crazy chance, both of those fail, a satellite uplink is ready to take over instantly. There are always backups for the backups. Here's a fun little behind-the-scenes detail for you. If a fan ever runs onto the field, you will never, ever see it on the official broadcast. The director will immediately cut to a shot of the crowd or maybe a replay. It's actually a conscious policy they have to avoid giving that person any attention and, discourage anyone else from trying it. So when you tune in to the next match, just remember this. While we're all watching the 22 players on the field, the broadcast of that single game is only made possible by the coordinated effort of literally thousands of people. Engineers, operators, producers, directors, all working together perfectly. It's just a massive human achievement. It all just leaves you wondering, doesn't it? We've just seen the incredible tech that's being used today. But with new advances in AI, augmented reality, and networks that are getting faster every day, what's it going to be like watching sports 5 or 10 years from now? What new angles, what new insights will we have? The game on the field might stay the same, but the way we experience it is only just beginning to change.